Kicked my homeless friend out of our house. M24, live with my older parents, late 60s, we have a vegetable to market farm that's 45 minutes drive from the nearest big town. It's an area where the police notoriously have difficulties getting here in a timely manner. I don't own any firearms due to mental health problems with myself and my little brother. I plan on changing that this week. I had a 4+ year friendship with an Air Force veteran, M38, out of college that was checkered with many spats. I have been described as a patient person and I try to exercise compassion in my life, but I reached my wit's end with him multiple times. There were multiple occasions where he would become unhinged and start turning the world into a front where everything and everyone was against him, full defense mode, and he burned bridges with quite literally everyone in his life except for me. I don't know if it was naivety, ignorance, or compassion that kept me in it, but I forgave him and showed him paths to healing that I thought he deserved. A year ago he lost his dog at the age of 13 and that really sent him into a spiral. He did not have the money to deal with the body with cremation or anything of that nature, so I offered to let him bury her at our farm. It was lovely, a full moon, and I told him he could come visit her anytime he needed. Since then he had good days and bad days. 2 weeks ago, he was evicted from his basement apartment, and said it was because the owner was trying to sell the house. I offered for him to come and stay with us while he finds a new place, as he had not been able to find one. He gets rental assistance through the VA and many landlords are not keen on receiving rent late all the time, due to bureaucratic hang-ups. He stayed with us for 2 weeks, and was a great guest for a time. Clean, friendly, helpful, it was nice to have someone to talk to about the breakup I've been going through, as well as someone to hang out with my dog while I'm gone at work. Can't farm veg in the winters here so I have to find temp work for the cold season. I noticed his late nights were turning into later nights, his 2 beers were turning into 2 sixers and tall boys, and the joints were turning into 2 joints and a bowl from his pipe. I thought it best to not pressure him on that front, because he was actually doing alright on the apartment search and was working phone app delivery during the day. I should have started that conversation, in hindsight. 2 nights ago, I'm having a somewhat sleepless night because I had a meeting with my ex the next day and I naturally struggle with night terrors and such, so my anxiety was high. I finally get to bed around 12:30, which was an hour after I had heard him return from what I had thought was work, but I later found out he had gone to get alcohol. A lot of it. So it's not a stretch of my imagination to believe he had been binge drinking Pacificos starting at 11:30 p.m. I am awoken by the sound of running water. Onto my floor at 3 a.m. I was super out of it due to the very small amount of sleep. I immediately figured that, since we've been getting frosts and freezes these last couple weeks, maybe tonight was a hard one and a pipe burst in the ceiling. I get up to go find the source of this torrential downpour to find my buddy, pants down, pissing on the floor. It took my brain maybe 30 seconds to put everything together and realize what was happening. He just looks at me with this glazed face, teetering side to side, and a huge puddle of piss on the floor of my bedroom. I mean, it was a fucking reservoir. For a minute I thought maybe I could go get one of our kayaks and have a quick little float. I am lucky that it pooled in an area where it was easy to clean up and didn't touch any rugs or carpet, just linoleum. WTF. Dude, is this urine? He's like, no. 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 I asked if his pants were soiled and he looked down like he had just realized he had legs. He surprised himself as he was looking down. He saw his liquid deposit on the floor and says, oh shit. I immediately started cleaning up the canal with towels, to which he responds, no wait, I have some paper towels. He did not. He was referring to our stash of paper towels, not his. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. It will take 3 rolls to soak all this up, we're using towels. I tell him to go lay down and got him a glass of water. I said, sober up, try to get some fucking rest, drink this water, and we will talk in the morning. I surmised that there was no way I'd attempt to reason with him as he was completely knackered. I mean, this dude was swimming with the fishes. Barely walking, stank of a speakeasy, and still had not buttoned his pants. He lays down, I finish cleaning up and disinfecting, throw the towels in with some bleach to wash for a bit, and try to get some shut-eye. I am awoken to him yelling about 20 minutes later. He had packed most of his things and was getting ready to leave. I thought, well hey, I was gonna kick your ass out in the morning anyway, after you had sobered a bit, but sure, if you're leaving I ain't stopping you. It was at this point, he began to attempt to elongate his exodus by any means necessary. Playing like he forgot something, he forgot many items, but in his journeys to retrieve them, he never actually packed a single thing, just walked around looking, trying to ask me questions, etc. He became belligerent and aggressive, trying to pin his behavior on me. Asking, this is what you always wanted, isn't it? And now you get to tell everyone how shitty I am, that I am a loser, huh? I lost my patience, and told him he has 10 minutes to get in his car and leave, or I call the sheriff to have him criminally trespassed. He had proved that his behavior was unpredictable, and I realized I need to protect my family at all costs. He got in his car, turned it on, shifted to drive, and moved about an inch before he went back into park, turned the car off, got out and looked over to yell at me, "You know what? Call them. Call them, like I give a shit. It will take them a long time to get here, and until then, we can hash this out." So I went back to my room to grab a knife and came back out, called the police and gave them his description and plate number. I am thankful it did not get physical. He kept his distance from me once he saw the knife. He kept saying gibberish and gobbledygook, to which I responded over and over, "The line of communication is broken, you are a threat to my family, the police are on their way and you will be trespassed. Do not approach me. I know better than to fight a drunk person who is maybe 50 pounds on me." At one point he went up to his car and started punching the door, which was probably the first time I laughed all night. It was just so ridiculous looking, and I couldn't believe that this is where the storyline had led me to. He left after maybe 15 minutes of incoherent blabbering, at which time I called dispatch again and told them he's about 12 minutes from a specific road, still very inebriated and violent. That was hopefully the last I saw of him, but I've been very nervous since then because I know how dangerous a man can be when he has nothing to lose. I texted him some phone numbers from the VA, the Addiction Resource Hotline and the number for the VA hospital. Told him to heal his disease, leave alcoholism behind and fix his life, and blocked him. This dude has no friends, no family closer than rural Montana, and no reason to live. His car door is bent all out of shape, so there's no way he's holding in any amount of heat if he tries to sleep in it. I learned later from my mom that he had stayed up late venting to her one night, where he spilled the beans that he was evicted because of his belligerent behavior. Not because the owner was selling. He lied to me and preyed on my kindness. He used my patience and grace against me for a free stay so he could work DoorDash just enough to buy drinks. So fucked up, man. When it rains, it pours. I am thankful for the opportunity to grow and learn, that things did not turn out worse. For some reason, I am filled with the resolve to find compassion and love, more than ever. The world is beautiful, and the path of love is so powerful. People have to heal themselves though. I cannot do any more than support them, and cut that line when it becomes toxic or one-sided.